sac or feeding young, or you see fledged young, those are all codes that give that particular bird a confirmed status. So we have confirmed, probable, possible, or maybe we just only observed the bird. So here's the way it broke down. We had 6 confirmed, 33 probable, 13 possible. So 73%, that's pretty good of either confirmed or possible breeding there. These were some of the species that we were excited about. We had an ovenbird singing on 4 out of the 5 days that we did the survey. And I was all excited because I'm thinking, ooh, this is not a bird that's doing well. I mean, it's a ground nester. Predators do a number on it, something, oh, it could be nesting here. Well, then I read in the Breeding Bird Atlas that when nesting season approaches and nesting gets underway, the male stops singing. So I'm like, what's up with this? Well, I think he was an unmated male, and I think he was advertising a territory. Could they nest at Hampton Hills? Yes, they could. It would be awesome to confirm that sometime. But anyway, yellow-bellied sapsucker is a listed species. We saw it one day on the bird survey there, but I had seen it in that same location on an earlier time when I was there doing some scouting. We had an osprey flyover. We had yellow-throated vireos singing, I think, on every survey day. So anyway, good potential there, good habitat for some of our nesting species. Project Feeder Watch is another project that I inherited from our retired field naturalist. This is volunteer. I have 3 folks that count the birds at the feeders at the Westwood, Swine Creek, and Big Creek. And those are the numbers. The largest group at each park. And then if you're wondering what's the most common feeder bird at Swine Creek and the Westwoods, it was the cardinal over the historic time period that we were counting. And it's black-capped chickadee here at Big Creek. Other notable birds. We've got this new park, Troy Wetlands. If you haven't been there, you should go. This is the view from the observation deck. But we've got a small heron rookery there, which is really cool. About 6 nests or so, and so if you go in March, April, you can see the goofy-looking babies on the nest. I don't even know how to stay up there on this roof, but that was cool. And then just this past fall, one of the local birders found a Nelson sparrow. This is a common salt marsh habitat bird. And it's uncommon to rare elsewhere. And where does it show up? Troy Wetlands. So all the birders flocked out there, including me. I did see it. I was not able to get pictures. It's very secretive and solitary. But on a couple times that it popped up out of the weeds, it was clear what it was. So that was really cool. And Troy Wetlands is starting to rival Ladue in the number of species seen. So that's very cool.
Nice.
Then we had a lady on Facebook reports, I was at Orchard Hills and I saw this bird. From everything I can see, it's a red crossbill. The local bird nerds flocked right out there, and sure enough, they found it, and they found that they were building a nest. And there were people that came from distances to get that bird checked off on their list for 2024. It does have a cross beak. That's not a deformity. They're adapted to be able to pick pine cone seeds out of pine cones with that beak. So there they were at Orchard Hills. How cool is that? So, the Bluebird Trail, I inherited this as well. Here's our results for the year. We had 222 fledged bluebirds, 140 tree swallows, 62 house wrens. And over the entire time that we've done this, we've fledged 4,300 bluebirds, 4,215 tree swallows, 1,282 house wrens, and 105 chickadees. So that's good for the bird population here in Johnson County. The bat survey, I always do this in July. Usually it's a 2-night. I do it with my coworkers in the NRM department. We have a thermal imaging scope now, which has made things much easier trying to count bats as they come out of the egg. So everybody goes around and stands in the mosquito-infested habitat at the Union Chapel property, and you try and count these bats as they come out. Here's the chart. So there were close to 3,000 bats in that condo. And I remember the year I was part of this count here. They were coming out so fast I couldn't even keep up on the click count. Then the next year, good old white-nosed syndrome hit and took the population down to half. And then way down. But in the past few years over here, we've been slowly ticking upward. And so we had 290 this year, so hopefully we'll beat that number next year. So, yeah, we hope the bats are able to recover, and there are some signs that a fat bat is more likely to survive white nose syndrome than skinny ones, because what happens is they wake up earlier than what they should, and there's no food in January or February. So if they're packed on some pounds, they have a little bit more chance of being able to survive that. So anyway, hopefully they will do well in the future. And with that, we have come to the end of this presentation. And bonus points if anybody knows whose end that is. Paul, you're not allowed to answer.
Jump in, Paul.
No, if anybody knows, just jump in there. No, but it's at Froing Meadows. It was standing on the dock in that wetland. You know, the trail. It's the hind end of a Virginia rail. It's an Ohio species. Yeah, they just stand on the dock. They just walk under the dock. I was like, what? So anyway, thank you very much. And if you have questions, you can email me sometime.
Linda, that Nelson Sparrow, was that a first record for the Naturals Department for Jogga Park District?
For Jogga Park District, yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I need to look on eBird to see if it's a county record.
Okay.
For us.
Interesting.
But nice for us to,
Yeah.
our new park especially.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if you haven't been there, go see.
Yeah, it's attracted a lot of birders, so Troy Wetlands.
I will just never, ever, ever do a moth lighting program there ever again. If you want to eat bugs or kill bugs.
So,
Right, yeah. Awesome, yeah.
thank you, Linda.
All right.
Good work.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you again, Linda. We certainly have some wonderful species in this county and some wonderful habitats to sustain them. So thank you for that presentation. All right. A few more updates for commissioners. A few more slides to show you. Jogga Park District's annual Greens for Giving return to the Westwoods Nature Center on December 7th. Through this year's project, 90 registered members of the public, members of the current leadership Jogga class, and some Jogga Park District staff used provided materials to assemble a record high 414 evergreen centerpieces. 2 days later, 335 of them were delivered to the Department on Aging for distribution through their home delivered meal program to seniors, and 80 of them were delivered to the Jogga County Veterans Food Pantry for distribution to our local veterans. Greens for Giving was the brainchild of Special Events Coordinator Holly Sauter 11 years ago as a nice nature-based way to send holiday cheer to our aging and veteran populations. Thanks to all participants and Bob Rogish of Rogish Farms, Tannenbaum Christmas Trees, who again generously donated all the evergreens for the event. Leftover greens were also put to good use later in the week during programs for timber tots, ages 3 through 5, and individuals with special needs. So, good job, Holly, again. Thank you for providing some holiday cheer to our seniors and our veterans. Also, out of the Naturals Department in November, 85 programs served 3,228 park patrons, and the Westwoods Nature Center greeted 2,811 visitors. Good job, Naturalists. Thanks again, Linda. Jerry Scoop. This probably has a program. This probably has a program to get to. Okay. So I missed anything? At the table, we have the 2025 schedule for Board of Park Commissioners meeting. If anyone needs a copy, or all the dates and corresponding times are listed on our website. And with that, that is all I have for Commissioners time. Anything from the Commissioners? We will move on to executive session. Request a motion to go into executive session for the first item is pending court action. The second is to consider the compensation and employment of public employees. And the third is purchase of property. Make a motion.
Second.
Folks, we'll be going into executive session.